The first time after marriage. It had been a whirlwind few months, the excitement of planning, the rush of the wedding day, the overwhelming joy of saying, I do. But now, as the evening sky began to darken on their first night as husband and wife, Emma and Alex found themselves sitting in the living room of their cozy apartment. The lingering scent of fresh flowers from their wedding still filled the air, but there was something different now, something deeper, more intimate, that neither of them could quite put into words. They had known each other for years, friends first, then something more, and now this, married life. But tonight, with the soft glow of the lamps casting gentle shadows on the walls, Emma realized how strange it felt to call Alex her husband, to know that they were embarking on this new chapter of life together. Emma tucked a loose strand of hair behind her ear, glancing at Alex, who was sitting across from her, with a small, almost nervous smile. He had always been the more carefree one between the two of them, but tonight there was a quiet seriousness in his eyes. The world outside their little apartment seemed so distant now, like everything had faded away, leaving just the two of them in this space, this moment, so incredibly new and yet familiar at the same time. Do you feel different? She asked, breaking the silence. Alex let out a soft chuckle, running his hand through his hair. Honestly? A little. But at the same time, it feels like we've always been here, doesn't it? Emma nodded, her gaze falling to her wedding ring. The delicate band sparkled in the dim light, a constant reminder of the promises they had made to each other. She had never imagined herself wearing a ring like this, never thought about what it would mean to share her life with someone in this way. And yet, here she was, with Alex by her side, everything feeling both surreal and exactly as it should be. They had spent their wedding night at a small hotel near the beach, a quiet getaway that Alex had insisted on, despite Emma's reservations. She had wanted something more grand, but he had insisted that the first night should be simple, intimate, just for the two of them. And now, here they were, back at their apartment, and Emma couldn't help but smile at how right he had been. What do we do now? She asked, her voice almost a whisper. Alex's smile softened, and he leaned forward, reaching out to take her hand. Now we start our life together. Just us, with no rushing, no distractions. We take it slow, one day at a time. Emma's heart swelled at the sincerity in his voice. There was a gentle wisdom in his words, a groundedness that made her feel safe. She had always admired that about him, how he approached life with a sense of calm, even in the most chaotic of times. Sounds perfect, she murmured. For a moment, they sat in comfortable silence, the only sound the soft ticking of the clock on the wall. Emma could feel the weight of the day's events slowly fading away. The wedding had been beautiful, everything she had dreamed of, but now that it was over, she realized how much more there was to their relationship than just the ceremony. There were the quiet moments, the mornings spent drinking coffee together before work, the late-night conversations that lasted until they both fell asleep on the couch, the shared glances that spoke volumes. It was in those little things that Emma knew their bond was more than just a contract on paper. It was something much deeper, something that had grown naturally over the years. Do you think we'll be good at this? She asked suddenly, the vulnerability in her voice surprising her. Alex looked at her, his expression thoughtful. We'll figure it out, he said gently. We've always figured things out together, haven't we? Emma smiled, the warmth of his words settling in her chest. It was true. They had faced challenges before, life had thrown them curveballs, and yet they had always come through stronger. Marriage, she knew, would have its own set of hurdles, but there was comfort in knowing that they had already built a foundation of trust and understanding. They weren't starting from scratch. I guess we don't really know what's ahead, Emma said softly, but I'm ready. Me too, Alex replied, his voice steady and reassuring. The air between them seemed to shift, and Emma felt a sudden impulse to stand up, to close the distance between them. Without saying a word, she walked over to where Alex sat and sat down next to him. His arm immediately went around her shoulders. and she rested her head on his chest, feeling the steady beat of his heart. "I'm glad we're doing this," she whispered. "Me too," Alex whispered back, his hand gently caressing her hair. For a long while, they sat like that, not needing to say anything more. The world outside was quiet, and inside their little apartment, they were content in each other's presence, knowing that this moment, the